Welcome back to the Rip Curl WSL Finals. We've got one of the heats of the year, one of the heats of the decade, hitting the lineup here at Lower Trestles. Title match, Heat 1 of 3. Carissa Moore versus Tatiana Weston-Webb. Goofy versus regular, Hawaii versus Brazil. Surf fans, get ready to lose your minds. This is going to be amazing. Rosie?
Whew, it's going to be hard to beat, the momentum that Tati would be feeling.
Well, you came through at the perfect time. I'm going to pick Tatiana Weston-Webb because watch out, her backhand is activating. Tatiana, 2 turns already. This wave slightly running away from her. She gets to this inside section, could have something nice to work with. Just finishes safely but correctly. Completed ride straight off the buzzer for Tatiana Weston-Webb.
Yeah, she looked steady on her board, just taking her time, just pacing those maneuvers, wanting to start strong. Coming off her match with Sally Fitzgibbons, she took a while to warm up. I think she's not going to let that same thing happen to her.
On her backhand, she has so much firepower, and this is exactly what we saw in the previous heat. Started off with kind of a mid score, and then backed it up with an absolute hammer.
That first turn was really, really strong, and as this tide fills in, you're going to see that patience necessary in the bottom turns. You can't be over aggressive of just getting her feet in as the local hammer steps up to play.
The crowd starts to go wild as Carissa Moore flies 150 miles an hour down the line, straight up into the lip with a huge snap to start this wave. Beautiful, golden, glistening right-hander at lowers, and just as things started to get interesting. 35 minutes on the clock. Now, Tatiana Weston-Webb just surfed previously. You know she's got all the energy in the world, all the adrenaline running through her veins. How about this wave for Carissa Moore to start?
Well, you think about it, she's coming in cold, Chris. The whole day she's been waiting, watching, seeing which competitor she's going to face off against. This is the first time Carissa is hitting the lineup in a match setup. So you got to think about the pressure. It's built up throughout the day, the expectations. This is a bigger wave too. Finds the line on that first rail, beautiful maneuver, and then just tries to ditch the fins. It doesn't recover there.
Talk about all of them. Also, like, I live here.
Yeah.
And watch, and I'm hungry, and I haven't gotten a world title yet.
Speaking of world titles, Carissa Moore has a handful of them, but you know she wants another. Opening snap, looking good so far. This wave growing down the line. So does Carissa's speed. Beautiful technique through that third turn. Nothing super explosive there, but that right there is just setting the table. Here you go. The plates are out. The napkins are set. Now it's time to eat. So Carissa Moore will put a score on the board with a 5-5 and a 1-5. Carissa Moore still waiting for this second score to drop. It was a nice wave. It was a good way to start her heat with room to grow.
Definitely. There's just room. There's so much room for Carissa here. I love the rail work that she's able to do, and just comboing up those 3 maneuvers. Okay, feet in the wax. Let's go. Build that confidence. Build the heat score total.
26 minutes on the clock. Tatiana Weston-Webb just up and out real quick. Waiting for scores to drop. So we're at the most high-performance wave on the planet. And here's one of the most high-performance surfers on the planet, Tatiana Weston-Webb, setting things up, waiting for this wave to pulse in front of her. It does. Puts the pedal to the metal. Full throttle surfing on her backhand. Can she get around this big section? She cannot. Goes down in the whitewater. So Tatiana Weston-Webb, third wave ridden, will be a non-factor. If she makes her way back out into the lineup, I mean, this was a wave first ridden on logs. And since then, it went through every iteration, single fin, twin fin, to now where you're basically going to ride your most high-performance board as we see Carissa Moore absolutely flying down the line. Quick snap there. This wave racing through this cobblestone inside section, growing down the line as it goes. Carissa setting things up nicely for a potential big finish. Big snap there, slides the fins, regains control. Straight back into it. Carissa Moore with a solid finish. Showing her consistency and her ability to adapt and react. She started with a 3, increased with a 5.73. Now you see she's starting to apply the pressure. That's going to most likely improve on that 5.73.
Because she got this one kind of mid-range, and just, on that great section of the cobblestone reef where it starts to draw, the water draws off nicely, and it gives you a bit more section to work with. So you do some deep cuts in the face of this wave. There was a part of this wave, though, Sal, where I was almost like, oh, she's going to lose it. And I think it was this turn here.
She's been doing her crunches. She held that thing together. I really love that third turn. And that surfboard that she's riding, that driver, it's a simple performer. Like, perfect rocker for out here. You can see how sure-footed she is and confident coming out of those bottom turns. And that sets up that nice wraparound right there.
Mid-lengths, but today it is all about this.
Spice.
The most high-performance surfboards you could ride. Tatiana Weston-Webb pushing her sharp eye to the limits, going vertical. Can she hang on? She does. The fist pump, well-deserved for Tatiana Weston-Webb. Riding out of that crucial and critical inside section has become so important and so tricky. We've already seen big scores achieved really by showing the judges you're in control at the end of your wave.
Like you said, spice, Sal. That's what she brought to this wave.
Yeah. Real seasoning. Nice right there on the button. This nice little setup. And then I think it's this turn here. Shebang.
Yeah, that right there, that's her money turn. That's what's gotten her to this point. A big, beautiful backside whip. And I like the work she did on the outside. That turn right there was perfectly placed.
That first maneuver, you think about grabbing the judge's attention and really doing it with that first maneuver and closing out like that, and that, Houdini through the whitewash.
The judges,
they love it.
16:30 to go. Carissa Moore coming through with that 8.33. That's enough to get her in the lead, but Tatiana Weston-Webb has answered back a 7.33, and now we're back on the Carissa train, speeding down the line. Plenty of room to work as she cranks it off the bottom. Nice slashing turn to start this wave. Look at the diamonds coming off the face of the wave, and that right there is a rarity.
Sorry.
You will not see that often. Carissa Moore with a crucial mistake on a beautiful wave.
Folks at home, I got caught up.
This is a chunky wave with a lot of power, a lot of water moving.
So great that the call was made for today and not yesterday. I mean, look at these wins. First turn, so good.
I just love that she made us wait. Come on, everybody was on the edge of their seats.
It's interesting though, because we've watched so much free surfing off Carissa, and that has not happened, not once. And now in a heat situation, is that a little bit of the pressure creeping in potentially?
Yeah, I mean, that's a trademark Carissa hammer right there.
Bread and butter.
And got to be feeling it. Like we also like, this is a historical day. We've never been in this type of format. And the crowd needs to know you. I mean, Stephanie Gilmore yesterday was like, it was hard for me to get waves. Carissa didn't have that problem. So she's been able to get a better rhythm with these conditions all week as a result of the hometown love.
Well, Carissa Moore is linked into what started off as a beauty. It de-escalated pretty quickly, but she could be hunting for something special here on the inside. She's got the firepower, goes to the layback snap. Cannot come up with it, so with 11 minutes and 32 seconds to go, we've got Carissa Moore currently in the lead over Tatiana Weston-Webb. This has been a great heat so far, I'm telling you.
Yeah, as we see this replay of the incredible rail work and timing of Carissa. And I said before, hometown love, obviously Carissa's not from here, but the amount of time that she has put in anticipation of this event. She was the first person here after Mexico, and she's been surfing here the most and consistently building a relationship for today, and it's showing.
Well, she has a relationship with this place. I mean, her junior career, 11 NSSA national titles won at this break. She would definitely be feeling at home at Lower Trestle. So, it's an old T-shirt that she's putting on at the moment.
Tatiana Weston-Webb setting things up nicely on her opening fade. Just waiting for a critical section to arise so she can do damage. There we go. Just a slicing carve there. Goes for the big float finish. Rides out clean. Crowd goes wild. Fists are pumped. Let's do this. Tatiana Weston-Webb is back in the chat.
I'm going to put myself out there. I think, with that exchange, Tati just took the lead from Carissa. I'm, like I said, waiting on scores. I'm not a judge, but my first initial reaction to that is that she did it.
Stunner of a wave. Salema, look at this. Just telegraphing start. Patience, key.
Yeah, I mean, I like the patience. Obviously, great redirects, but like you said at the outset of the wave, she was waiting for the section to stand up. that one there. And then right here, this decision to be like, you know what? I'm here. Might as well get up there and see if I can't get my Italo double tap float life on.
I like that. You know, floaters, underrated for how critical they can be.
Yeah.
They can see the bottom of your board, some fins and everything in between. They're going to love it.
That thing going out to sea. I mean, Brad Gerlach with his wave key, he's been doing entire live sessions just dedicated to the strength and the power of properly executed floaters and the different types.
You know, that's why we haven't gone to Rich as much as we'd like to, but mistake-free surfing from so many surfers as well as our judges, they have been spot on throughout the day. No interferences yet, no strange paddle battles or confusion out. She's able to hold off the champ, Carissa Moore, as she goes into her backhand, winds up, Cobra-esque strike. Another big turn right up in the critical section. Tatiana Weston-Webb finishing. Carissa Moore's out the back with no waves available. Wow, a shocker at lower trestles.
The paddle battle sails. That was not an easy wave to ride. It had a bunch of white water in the face. She was patient, and she did not surf it safely. She surfed it with the mindset of like, there might still be something out there out back for Carissa, and I'm going to go hamtown on this thing.
Tatiana didn't make mistakes. She finished all her waves. Her major maneuvers, she was able to combo them up. She outsurfed Carissa Moore in this first match.
And now the stage is set for Carissa Moore versus Tatiana Weston-Webb. Interesting to see Moore actually get a loss in the first title match. Now she could be feeling the pressure here. She's in a must-win situation.
She is, and you know, Carissa can handle that pressure, and we'll see if she can get it going here straight away.
Looks like we'll get things started. Carissa Moore, a 4-time world champ, on a beautiful lowers wall.
She's picked a perfect wave. It's a bigger wave. A lot of these bigger waves today are moving off of this, what we'd call the reef or the cobblestones. It gets a little bit deep, so the wave flattens out. As waves hit shallower water, they stand up more, and you can see this one moving to the inside, hitting the shallower water, and a good finish there. A little early on the section. I think she just wanted to kind of nail something right away and get herself in a commanding lead in the first couple minutes. So now she's got 33 and a half minutes to work on, you know, getting her second score and then applying the pressure and getting a bunch of waves. She was going to be chasing that wave no matter what. Let's watch Carissa's again, 8.9. I didn't really pay attention the first time around, so let's see. Nice carve to start, kind of setting it up. Another one, clean turn. Looks like she might be on a little bit longer board, like a little step up. And there, a nice full rail carve, gouges back into the pocket. And this is where she kind of, I felt like she went a little bit soft in the end there. I do feel like that score came in a bit high to start this heat out. But that will set the benchmark for what Tati has to do. And, you know, you build around those scores either way.
So we see those arcing turns. Carissa just wanted a section where she could really let go. And then connected there for the finish. 8.93. Strider Wasilewski, you're in the water. Where was Tatiana for that opening wave? Here at lower trestles. Tati rolling into the wall.
Pretty steep to start. Boom, this is where she really shines. Oh, and you see how critical she got there. I don't think it was a big mistake other than losing priority. She probably will lose priority, but that wave actually closed out. She probably only could have got a second turn in.
It's bombing out here. When those sets come, I was watching her duck dive wave after wave after wave.
Good man, Strider. Great insight. Carissa Moore already backing up her 8.93.
Yeah, she's not going to leave it to chance this time and wait for a wave at the end. These are the better waves out there. They're only about this size. They stand up a little steeper. This one doesn't have as much wall down the end, so it's not going to give her that big highlight finish, but it's there's been dozens of really good waves at that size that don't break out on the peak where they're sitting. Felipe caught one out the back, did 2 turns, and then it set up into a wedge on the inside. So you wouldn't pass this wave up out there. It's a really good wave, but unfortunately for her, it didn't stay steep down at the end. So the steep part was the beginning, and then it kind of faded on her after about her 3rd turn here.
Just focusing on her surfboard, noticing maybe riding bigger equipment. Are you liking how it looks today at lowers?
But, you know, he helps push her in big waves for sure. And we'll see what happens here. Let's look at this wave. There's a really nice long wall, and if it holds back, I can look over my shoulder and see that it's going to keep speed and keep the steepness. This is where the wave tends to wedge up. You can see it kind of slowed down and stay steep, and wow, what a turn. Man, that was such a well-ridden wave. And it'll be interesting to see where they come in with that, because to me that was more critical surfing than Carissa did on her 8.9. Not as many turns, maybe not quite as big a wave, but a much more critical surfing in my book. It was more on edge. She almost fell. Well, I think she was more surprised than me.
As we go back to Tati, impressive. Her best so far in this second title match.
Yeah, good start to it. This is where the wave wedged up, and boom, really critical there. She almost fell for good reason. And then, boom, had to climb the lip, and she did good to get up there and actually get the power pushing back, getting the lip pushing under the center of her stance and throwing her back out with speed. There was no bog there. Really well done. Really well surfed. This is the money turn right here. Boom, lets the tail out.
And now getting the chip in. Kelly, we were just talking about those wedges that kind of flatten out the left to just open up the right a bit more.
Yeah, you see she had to draw that first turn out, and there you go. There's the variety right in the steep part of the wave, using that power. The wave kind of flattening out here. I can see that the wave's going to be flat the whole rest of the way, but then she's going to have a closeout. So she's going to line this up and just get her timing right. Boom, push and drift the tail, drift the fins a little bit of extra pizzazz to finish. And we'll see how they compare those two rides. You know, that was cleaner. That's probably a little bit cleaner than what Tati did.
Long lowers right compared to a short, maybe bigger section type right that Tati had.
Yeah, she just had to just pace the wave right. That's why she did that big long cutback, arcing all the way back. Boom, there we go. There's a little drift, little risk, pushing it. But you know, she knows she can push as hard as she wants with that back leg and make that every day of the week. She's just so confident in that maneuver. And then you see her ready to time this one, and she knows, boom, this one gets me back in the world title conversation. I think, you know, that this is early on in this heat. Who knows what can happen, but those two waves right there might have her winning the second heat already if Tati doesn't really step it up here. Nice layback snap there. I think this reminds her a lot.
Carissa's been incredibly consistent this year. The only surfer on tour to finish in semifinals or better throughout 2021. Big moment for Tati.
Yeah, so Tati's really got to let loose. I can turn around and see this wave's going to close right out. So she's going to have to do something big and stick it. I was thinking, you know, 2 moves is not going to do it out here. I think you want to get a wave that's going to let you have at least 3. And if it's only 3, they got to be big. Kind of like Medina's 7.3 he had in his heat.
To throw down a huge turn compared to trying to out-turn her on a long right at lowers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you want to try and out-turn Carissa. You want to... Tati's difference is on her backhand, she can probably throw a little more vertical attack, and that maybe looks a little more powerful because Carissa's kind of drawing her turns out today.
The Rip Curl WSL Finals, Tati versus Carissa Moore. Weston-Webb using priority on this right. Snap to start, and she will be kicking herself for taking that wave with priority.
I feel like I can see a different confidence in her surfing already, and I think she's washed that first heat off. And to Richie's point right there, you can see Tati's turn right there. It was kind of cut short.
9:55 on the clock.
Here we
Big
go.
Big carve for Carissa Kelly.
And you got Carissa. You can see the speed. You can see kind of the energy she had there. I didn't obviously see what the wave started like. We'll see if she got a third turn in. If she got a first turn before we saw her, then she could be, again, pushing that score up. To me, she looked more confident in her turn. Right? She just looked like alive. I didn't turn around to have a look because I was watching Tati's, but here we go. First big turn. Boom. You can see how lively she looks right there. Yeah, it was only a 2-turn back.
It certainly was. I caught up with Tati earlier this year about that moment. It was certainly incredible to see how hard she was charging. 90 seconds on the clock. Carissa Moore.
Oh, she could shut the door right here if she just strings this whole wave together, and a big finish. Boom.
Carissa on the first wave of the exchange.
It's just had such a nice feel. Look at all the speed she has. Big carve, just clean open face surfing. Nowhere was she stuck on that at all. A good second turn, and then here comes kind of that banger finish. It looked like she knew I make a little wave approaching. She looks a little deep to start. It goes a little flat on her. She didn't get that first turn off, but here we go. It's going to step right up now and see if she can get in the flow of this wave. She's really got to do something special because she's kind of already a little bit behind the 8 ball to start, and she needs a 9-point ride.
Clean snap again for Weston-Webb, and she will time the end section. A much different type of right that she's taken in this heat, allowing her to throw down lots of different turns, but there were some changes to the face of the wave. She had to slow down, react to different sections, did well to stay on her feet.
And then watch this first part right here. She gets a little bit caught. The whitewash just kind of set her up. She almost looked like she was going to go off the back there. And then she goes, you know what? I need to get in the flow of this wave. And bang. Touch late, but she was so strong she pulled it out. And then that was the clean turn. And then right here, one more. Almost digs the nose because she let the tail kind of loose on that. She kind of drifted the tail and then finished really nice. I mean, it's a great ride. That means that clearly the best ride of the heat needed to be right there with Tati. And I don't know if it had what it needs to get that 9.33. That's a giant score out there. I mean, you got to make no mistakes at all.
With a format like this, judges will take their time to make their comparisons. Yeah. They've already written the score down, but they'll just double check with a replay with a title match sheet of this size. You can see the first two reactions and now first three under the requirements.
Yeah.
And now this will officially be going into a third and deciding world title match between Tatiana Weston-Webb and Carissa Moore. Here at the Rip Curl WSL Finals, this is the final match of 2021. Carissa Moore taking on Tatiana Weston-Webb. It's one apiece in the best out of three series, and this is the decider. 35-minute final scored on their top two, and the winner is the world champion of 2021. We just had Gabriel Medina clinch a third world title, and now he is the most successful goofy footer of all time, passing Tom Carroll and Damian Hartman, who are two-time world champions. As we focus on this one, Joe Turpel with Mick Fann and Kelly Slater for the call. Carissa, world number one. Tati, world number two. One apiece. Where do we begin? Tati up and out.
Just on a closeout.
And it's just great to see somebody put in all that work and effort and desire in their life and have success. And I'm really, really happy for him, you know.
Rolling in now with Carissa Moore. Start, snaps it. Well overhead section, big lively rock and roll float. Tail drops first, but she can't control it.
He's got this like blacked out gym.
It's
no,
true,
I don't go.
Huh? Well, what about this fall here? Carissa had an opportunity to really get a big lead quick.
Oh, she almost clicked that. You see the tail dropped out a little bit. Didn't let her pivot forward.
It's a matter of who deals with the pressure now. I'm so excited for this heat.
Oh.
As we see the roll in for Weston-Webb. Gets to her feet in the flats. And we'll see how this right lines up for her.
Well, it's really mushed out on her. Hopefully it builds back up. But I'm looking back behind me. It's going to give her a section or two and then probably close out. So she might be able to just light something up big right here, and it just chased out in front of her.
But how much she's already accomplished in her life. And now to finish off here at lowers, one of her favorite waves. We'll see how this one works out. In the title decider with Carissa versus Tati. Wrapping turn on the glassy open face. Nice flowing finishing move and stays on her feet. Her best so far with 27:20 to go.
Trying to get a lead and build from there is where Carissa's strongest.
And this longer rail line does look like she did that. She's riding that sort of what looks like a step up to me. And then just clean surfing. It's too bad for her. The wave didn't let her do 2 or 3 more.
Still a really active lineup. Tatiana Weston-Webb on the wave behind her.
Oh.
Some ribs on that wave.
Big mistake by the ski right there. Huge mistake. I don't know what to say about that. He should have waited till that set was done. In that excellent score range. And you can see the ski went right across her line. And I think right there he's just going, oh, what did I do? And I'm sure he felt bad about that. But he's just trying to help out Carissa at the same time. But the wave went foamy, and there wasn't a lot of points in that wave, I think.
Yeah, look, as I said, it was a good settler for Carissa. She's in the lead now. That's where she likes to be. On this wave, I think we're going to see her. I don't want to curse her or anything, but I think you'll see her let it go just that little bit more.
Carissa starting with a nice setup snap. That wall really stretched out on her.
See that edge right there, and it's steepening up, and this is a much better wave than the one she had prior. Yeah, she maybe didn't let loose on that last turn as much as she could have, but she's got 2 solid scores in the count now, and the heat is now in her hands, so she's going to be sort of dominating that energy of the heat. She can be a little more patient.
She spent so much time on this wave, and she's got it worked out. Mick, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, that first carve was sort of like a driving carve. This next turn, this is where I was talking about loosening up a bit. She's done that hammer so many times over and over again. In the warm-up to today, I've seen her do it over and over again, and it's such a big scorer.
As we take another angle, Strider's angle of this wave, you got to see the form of Carissa and also that layback finish. It was great to see just a little bit of a settling move there for Carissa. Nice, consistent layback maneuver and then crushing the end sec right after this. Well, we're not going to break yet.
No way. Why would you? Look at this wave.
This wave, this perfect is rolling.
It could be a really good one. It's got a nice wall. It's a big one. See how bumpy it is? A little bit bumpy, a little bit even awake in that one. She almost lost the rail there, but it's steepening up in here, and it's got a nice taper to it. Nice speed. She can get real vertical right here.
Wow.
Boom, throws the tail out, and she can get herself back in this heat, completing this ride. That was really nice.
She's right back in there now.
Right back in there.
It's game on for the next 20 minutes.
So huge and important for the timing of Tatiana Weston-Webb. That backhand won her U.S. titles here at Lowers when she was a Grom. But Tati said she knows how to get under Carissa's skin. Nice little rhythm on this wave, Mick.
Yeah, she has really good rhythm on her backhand. It's there's no downtime. She just sets her rail and drives straight up into it. I love it when the section's square like that for her. She can release the tail, and she's not scared to hit it. That last turn was a banger.
That's her point of difference, that backhand vertical attack. The other thing is, look at how bumpy this wave, and I was going to say the same thing about Carissa's. They both did really well to handle the chop. These first waves of these sets have so much chatter. Even if there wasn't a jet ski out there, just that light bit of 5-8 mile an hour wind onshore, and it just puts an unclean face. So you're waiting for it to kind of slow down so you can go straight up and maybe hit the lip. She did well to get a lot of different turns here, a lot of variety. She got a lot more work done.
Riss
here we go.
Off the bottom and decides not to commit to that last ride. Already with a 15-point total, 7 and 8 back-to-back. And Weston-Webb should be free of that combination.
It'll be super interesting to see if she scoots on that side of the peak.
Now making a move. Priority is with the 4-time reigning world champion, Carissa Moore. Setup work to start, just feeling her way down this ride. Plenty of room to move here. There's that big frontside swoop.
Oh, it's just so clean. Her flow for these waves, like the power, then the release when she wants it. You saw it right there, and you see she knows she's just on such a good wave. She's going to get all the way to the end of this thing and hammer it at the end too. But such clean surfing out of Carissa, and we've become accustomed to it, but it almost disguises her power at times because she is so powerful. Sometimes she lays in that rail, and when she really pushes, it's just such perfect surfing.
That's incredible. The Olympics was huge, but we'll go back to this wave, and that first turn she was trying to just get down the line a little bit here. Here she really rips in. That's the Carissa Moore we know. And then again she tries to give it some. On this next turn she tries to drift the fins a little bit there, just to show a little point of difference, so she's not being so repetitive, and to get around. She almost falls right here, almost gets ankle tap, but got around, and she tries to reset there, but unfortunately fell at the end. But this turn, look at the cup on that wave. She timed that really nicely. She didn't go too high. See one fin come out the back that sort of releases the spray a little bit, but yeah, she has one of the nicest cubs in the world.
To meet up here in a one-day showdown to crown our world champions. Gabriel Medina is a 3-time champ. Will it be Tati or Carissa Moore? Weston-Webb having to step off there. That wave had a lot of power and size, no room for turns, so she still needs an 8.58 as she'll waste her priority there.
And for anyone, you don't know what can come after you get rid of that. It just blows the roof off it. And let's see how she goes at this one.
Tatiana
really
snapped through that white water. Not much on offer again, but I feel like that was fair. Under the watch of Carissa, might as well sneak into that wave.
Because is Tati in a spot where she can take advantage of that same wave. It looks like a nice corner. There seems to be a good wedge on it, a clean face. And I expect her to just really open up with some nice carves. And look at this. Boom. A lot of speed out of that. Now here comes some money turns here. Oh, a little late. And it just ran ahead of her a little bit. But man, That could have been a giant score for her.
She probably wrote into this, it was like, oh, I've just got to convert this and it's mine. But she maybe went a little bit soft. She didn't go 100% like she should have. And that just, see her nose just caught. In those situations, if you go 50%, most of the time you fall, where if you go 100%, it's like, oh, I'm just going to go through it. So,
or if you're in the, if you're totally in that moment, you're not thinking those.
But he's trying to count this clock down. 2:20 to decide a world title.
There we go. And I want to throw a shout out to Liz Fanning. We miss you.
She'll love it.
We love you.
Rolling in here, we've got Tatiana Weston-Webb. Deep off the bottom.
Wow.
Great connection there. Needs an 8.58 for the lead.
Man.
Clean carve, a bit of a slide. She'll have to go around the next section. Now lighting up the finish. She can't hang on.
Wow.
The section was there for Tati and just misread that finish with 1:40 to go.
What Medina talked about dreams and how they're there and you don't know if they seem impossible. Hit this last section because the 8.5 was there for her and she knew it, but the 10 could have been there for her. And right here, this section right here.
Those first two turns were magical.
Awesome. Right there. See, I thought she was going to climb that. And then, let's see what you say here, Mick.
See, her knees didn't bend to take the shock under the on the
she didn't get under it and push it.
Yeah,
Carissa Moore will close out the clock with an 8.6 and an 8.0. It went to 3, and now it is officially decided. Wow. Carissa Moore, your 2021 world champion, now a 5-time world champ on one day here at Lower Trestles.